Welcome back, Mother Munchers, to another episode of Married with Munchies and Movies. This week, we have another Brazilian treat and another romantic movie for you guys.
We do. So this week we're making coxinhas, which translates to like little chicken thighs. And it's basically a ball of meat and chicken and stuff wrapped in a dough and deep fried. Anything deep fried is good in my book.
That's right. And you are very southern.
Brazil's more southern than here.
I am more southern than you in a weird way, yes.
Anyways.
For our movie this week, we're keeping up with the romantic month of February, and we watched The Princess Bride, which is, if I dare say, one of the only fucking romantic movies that are worth a damn watching. So 1987's Princess Bride.
Yes, it's so good, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. First, let's show you how we made the coxinhas.
A 1987's The Princess Bride. This is one that I had actually watched with our kids before, and they're pretty good fans of this. And you had not seen it, so
No, I haven't. So it came out in 87, so that was
a year before I was born.
A couple years before I was born.
That's right.
But it's a really cute movie, and it's as a fantasy adventure comedy.
It is.
It's a little bit of everything. In the beginning, it's a grandpa reading a story to his grandson.
All right, 1987's The Princess Bride. This is one that I had actually watched with our kids before, and they're...
No, I haven't. So it came out in 87, so that was... there is some kissing involved.
Yes, so Fred Savage at the very beginning, his grandson's sick.
Yes,
he stays home, and he's like, "Hey, I used to read this to your grandpa or your dad.
Right,
Here's a story."
He starts out with like a love story, and the little boy is like, "I don't want a love story. This doesn't have..." Like, he's complaining that's not as interesting.
That's right. He's like, "What kind of shit is this?"
Basically.
So the story progresses, and it becomes more of an adventure.
Yes, it's definitely an adventure.
Where it really becomes an adventure. It starts out as a story of romance between a young love between Princess Buttercup and this farm boy.
Yes, every time she asks him to do something, he always says, "As you wish.
As you wish.
As you wish."
And she's kind of a bitch to where she's like, "Boy, fetch me my horse, boy."
To be fair, like, he is the help.
I understand, but
You know, like,
that's so degrading
it
in
is.
every
She should-
level.
yeah.
She could be a little cooler.
Yeah.
But then she's like, this is how I flirt. I just emasculate him and call him boy.
Yeah.
But anyway, he, things happen. He's presumed dead after pirates attack his
Yes.
ship. And then years pass, and she is due to wed to
Prince Humperdinck.
Humperdinck. That's right. Which she obviously does not want to marry him. Wesley comes back.
Yes.
People think he's like a crazy pirate. Mm-hmm. Pirate Roberts or whatever. He teams up with Andre the Giant and Inigo Montoya.
Yes.
Who wants to kill his father's killer.
Yes, he wants to seek vengeance for the person that killed his father. So they set out on this journey, and the story is just of their adventures and
a lot of
things that
things
they come
happen.
into.
No, yeah, it is. It is like it's an older, very much an '80s look adventure. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
but it's still
dated.
but it's still a good movie. There are
It's a
not
great
many
movie.
movies from the 80s that you could watch today and still like laugh and get really into it, and like that us and the kids can watch.
Yeah.
Aside from like the Friday the 13th, but that's just because it's crap. Try some.
Let's go ahead and see how the food was, man.
Let's try some
I've had
good
these-
classic coxinhas.
These turned out they're hard to shape, and
They
we're by
are.
no means professional.
Right.
But
They
I
kind of
grew up
exploded a little
eating
bit.
these. They're exploded a little bit. It's fine.
It's fine.
Various sizes. You can make like tiny little handheld ones. I've seen them like giant in Brazil.
Yeah.
But very, very traditional street food in Brazil.
Oh yeah.
Ready? Cheers,
Cheers.
mofo. Oh fuck.
So good.
It brings me back. It's I don't know how to. The dough is it's very potatoey because I guess like no, this one doesn't take potatoes.
No, it's hard to find something to compare it to because like when you hear the meat filling and then you hear a dough wrapped around it,
I would assume it's crispier.
but
You
it's
know what
doughy
I mean? But it's very doughy. It's
with a crispy outside. It's so good though.
dude, whenever you had birthdays, at least when I had birthdays or my friends did in Brazil, your parents would put in an order with someone that would make these and just buy by the hundreds, but they would be like tiny ones.
That'd
And
be so
like
cute
as
though.
kids, you just run to the table and you just grab and it would be this, and then at the end, that's when they bring in the handheld fucking diabetes with like the brigadeiros, the beijinhos and all that. But like over here, you just don't see that kind of like normal
We have
handheld kind of
pizza,
food.
but not.
But like
right.
Brazil also has pizza, and pizza I would argue is Italian.
This is a different like handheld thing that you really could make it like a appetizer, a snack,
It
a
could
meal.
be your meal.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a lot of times they would make giant ones, and they make them like stuffed with chicken and catupiry, which is a Brazilian like cream cheese that's just delicious.
It's in here.
Yeah, in there. I know. But they would put like bacon in it. The other thing that they would do, which I think we probably have to try to do, is pão de queijo. Same thing. You can stuff those with whatever you would like.
Yeah.
They're not hard to make. They're hard to shape. Like if you want to make them perfect, yeah, like it's gonna take a little time and
That's what I was
skill.
about to say. That was the hardest part for me. Like the mixing was okay. You're cooking things, you're mixing, whatever.
Yeah.
But trying to wrap the dough around these without getting it stuck to everything and like balancing out the ratio of filling to dough.
Bro, and then you see people that are making them in Brazil in like very, very like simple kitchens, if you will. But they just have the skill and they're just going bloop.
That's what I was gonna say. I'm sure like people have like in Brazil, there probably is like a street food.
Oh,
So you
yeah.
have like
Yeah.
a vendor with like a little cart or like in a food
Dude,
truck or
and
something,
any,
and they're just
like-
like whipping them out like it's nothing. And meanwhile I'm like,
Brazil, where in São Paulo, where I grew up, there were these fairs, street fairs, and they would have, fresh produce and all of that, but also a lot of vendors that would make like, hey, we make coxinhas, hey, we make pão de queijo, and then another one would make like the sweet street food stuff. And again, like every birthday that I've been to, like, yeah, sure, there was like cake, but I don't remember cake being like the highlight of the show ever.
Yeah.
It was always like, oh, what kind of fucking food did your parents get? What other stuff did they get, you know? Mm-hmm.
How would you rate these in comparison to ones you've had before?
On par. And I, to me, this is very nostalgic. So I would rate these a 9. And especially like as you build your skills and you make them like more consistent and better, and that they're crispy on the outside, all that. Yeah, it's a 9. It can only get better.
Yeah, I'm gonna go about 8.5, but only for hours because I know how good these taste.
Okay.
And like ours could definitely be improved.
Okay.
Because there was 1 or 2 that when I took a bite from the top, I got a bite of all dough.
Yeah.
I got to figure out how to stuff it the right way. Like the thing itself, though, is like at least a 9, but our cooking skills could be improved.
The top of the teardrop is going to be all dough, more doughy.
Yeah.
You know, the bottom is really where the stuffing really comes together. But yeah, I'm with you. As far as this movie, what do you think?
Ooh.
For me, I'll let you think. It's a movie that I've seen so many times, and it's fun that I was able to watch this movie with my kids, and they also enjoy it to the point that they wanted to watch it and crash our date, but we told them no. 8.5 easily. It's a movie I can always just kind of put on, and I know like even if we're not watching the whole thing, there are parts that I can quote, and there are parts that like I can still be like, oh shit, look at that, that's funny.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. I was thinking like an 8.7, so that's a little bit weird, but that's where I'm going with it. Because like you said, it's a classic movie. Like you can watch it, throw it in the background while you're doing a mindless task, and you can listen to it and get things done. Like you said, the kids all want to watch it too, so it's good for all ages, and it's definitely aged well.
Yeah.
Because again, there's not many movies from the 80s that you can watch at all, especially not with your kids.
That's true. That's very true. It's very hit or miss, and I feel like the rating system was a lot looser back then as opposed to like now. I think like maybe Spaceballs for a while was rated PG, and you're like, oh, okay, that's weird. Which like I'm down. Like our kids have also watched Spaceballs and they think it's funny.
Yeah.
But no, that puts this date at I think overall an 8.7, right? With food and movie and the averages for both of us. I'm sure we could probably do a better job actually calculating it, but 8.7 feels
close enough. Sorry, I'm trying to chew right into the mic, but I probably
You're still going at it. I'm holding strong to eat the rest of mine.
I can't.
These also, if you want some hot sauce, or if you have some hot sauce, throw some hot sauce on this. Fucking great.
Well, so we can finish these off. Thank y'all for watching. Tune in next week to see what we make and what we watch then.
See you Mother Munchers next week.